Japanese mythology is wild. How about a mother that dies of a burn vajayjay after giving birth to a fire demon baby? A storm god that poops in the palace of a sun goddess sister? A sister who in turn is doing a lot of incest with her moon god brother, and all of them are gods that basically inspired Naruto. After this video, you'll see what it means to be a part of the wildest and most important family tree in Japanese mythology. And that rhymed because woo!
Smoke that.
And all of this East Asian epicness starts with... Hey, before you judge them, do know that this brother and sister were like the only beings existing at the time, and if there's literally no one else around, well, sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Do, indeed. The brother's name was Izanagi, and the sister went by Izanami. Izanagi and Izanami were the last of the first generations of gods, born without any procreation, just divine nuts materializing in the heaven and the nothingness that was all that existed at the time. Once they formed into a male and female being, the siblings had but one mission.
Let's have sex.
Except they had the most random foreplay ever, where they erected this heavenly pillar. This is not a metaphor. They erected an actual pillar that they walk around in opposite directions until they meet in the middle, and only then did they have sex. But hey, yo, whatever floats your boat. People have weird kinks. For example, my girlfriend likes it when I... So the R-rated merry-go-round resulted in the siblings having a bunch of kids that became all the islands that together form Japan. So basically you could say that now Izanami and Izanagi were Izamami and Izapapi. I don't know why I do these jokes. He's sleeping. He doesn't care. I'm sorry. Next, they gave birth to a bunch of other gods to inhabit these islands and make the world whole, like Amaterasu, the sun, or Tsukuyomi, the moon, or Susano, the sea, and many others, with the last god kind of being why people warn you not to have sex with your sibling. A fire god that even Izanami's divine vajayjay couldn't handle, so when she gave birth to him, she burst into flames as the fire god let's rewind. Kagutsuchi burst onto the scene. Izapapi was so heartbroken at his wife's deadly coochie burn that he said, "Screw the whole poppy thing," and he murdered their newborn baby because
You gotta do what you gotta do.
And I just feel like if you kill the baby, Izamami really died for nothing. But hey, what do I know? The only coochie burn my girlfriend ever experienced was when, after she burned to death, Izanami found herself in Yomi, the Japanese underworld. But Izanami did not get the Izamami makeover when she transcended realms. Nah, her underworld body was entirely burnt and rotten, aka Izanami looked like...
And when my eyes are closed, I see you for what you truly are, which is ugly.
But no ugliness can ever stand in the way of true love. So Izanagi left the newly born Japan to venture to Yomi, the underworld, and get his wife back and rekindle their love. And when he found her in the pitch black darkness of the underworld, his wife was moved, yet crying, and asked him to please not shine his torch on him, for death had rendered her hideous. But Izanagi said, "Baby, I will always love you. Let me see your beautiful face." And
damn! I'm sorry. I can sit up here and honestly say, buddy, that was from a place of love.
Got it.
Like, damn.
Oh, that was from...
Like, damn.
You didn't... If we could play it back right now...
Play it back?
These are two different dams.
Play it back in slow motion.
There wasn't no... Do you want me to tell you how you said it?
I know how I said it, Don.
Do you want me to say it back to you how I think you said it?
Go ahead.
Damn!
Not true.
Fam.
Not true.
Fam.
I said...
Kevin.
I said, damn it.
Each time you said it, now it's gotten quieter and quieter.
And Izapapi booked it the hell out of hell. But now, boy, now Izamami was mad. And you ever been so mad that you gave birth to demons on the spot just to kill the subject of your fury? Nah? Well, Izanami turned demon Insta-Mami on the spot, and her Insta-birth demons inherited her wrath and chased after Izanagi, who barely got away, and sealed the entrance to the underworld with a giant boulder. Izanami cursed her disloyal husband from behind the boulder and said that he is not safe from her in the world of the living, and that her wrath would follow him, and that she would bring death to his world. And that's why, to this day, to this very day, every day, people die as a result of Izanami's wrath and the curse she cast upon the world. And to counteract all this death, Izanagi granted the ability of creating life to all that live. And so, out of Izanagi's vanity, and due to the lack of plastic surgery at the time, the circle of life was born. I'm gonna put in the edit, I'm gonna put a burnt face on Simba. You don't care, okay. I previously mentioned three of the children of Izanami and Izanagi: Susano, Tsukuyomi, and Amaterasu. Susano was the brash younger brother, god of the storm and wind, and we'll get to him a little bit later. Amaterasu was the darling goddess of all of Japan. She represented the sun and the heaven and all that is good, and her brother Tsukuyomi was the moon. But at the time, gotta know that moon and sun were not day and night at the time. There was actually no distinction between day and night at the time. Amaterasu and her brother were so close that the moon and the sun were always seen in the sky together. And yes, you probably already guessed it, that meant that they were also so close that they did a bunch of incesting.
Lannisters represent, cuz.
Then, one day, Amaterasu was invited to a special dinner by the goddess of food and drink, but Amaterasu, she couldn't go, so she sent her brother Tsukuyomi to attend in her stead. And man, it's a lot of snaps because the food was that good. Food was that good. With the goddess of food and drink hosting, you just know that food was something else. So Tsukuyomi was like,
God damn, that's the best crack I've ate in my life. That ain't no regular cracker, was it? What was that, a saltine? God damn, that was delicious. That wasn't no saltine, no, that was a Ritz. That wasn't no Ritz. I said, God, that's the best crack I've ate in my life.
So he wanted to know where all this deliciousness came from, and secretly followed the goddess of food into her kitchen. But what he witnessed there, man, he saw her creating the food by pulling it out of every hole of her body, be it top or bottom, front or back, solid or liquid. The goddess produced it all by pulling, vomiting, peeing, pooping. It was some real one goddess, one trait type of thing. You get me? Even though the excrements then turned into delicious food, Tsukuyomi felt offended by all of this, understandably. So he decided to decapitate the food goddess on the spot. Then he chop sueyed her body up into pieces and threw them from the sky. And everywhere a body part of hers landed on earth, new vegetables and fruits were born. And so, good for humanity. But Amaterasu was so furious that the heavens had lost Miss One Girl, One Tray and her delicious food, that Amaterasu punished her brother Tsukuyomi for it. She exiled Tsukuyomi to the other end of the sky. And from then on, the moon and the sun were barely ever seen together anymore. And the day and night cycle was born. So after one brother disappointed her, Amaterasu's other brother Susano decided to... Yeah, you could say that Susano was a bit of a troubled soul, and generally an all-around prick. He ruled over the sea, which coupled with his mood swings make him equally as associated with storms and winds. Susano was the kind of kid that burns insects for fun, except the godly equivalent of that is causing tsunamis and landslides for fun that kill thousands of humans.
Well, you don't have to mention that. That was fun.
And Susano never really grew out of his bloodlust, so eventually his dad Izanagi had enough of this crap. His ex-wife's curse was already causing enough death, and Izanagi wanted to preserve lives, so he didn't need a homicidal son running around, and he decided to exile Susano to be with his mother in the underworld. But before Susano left for said underworld though, he wanted to say goodbye to his sister, Amaterasu. And since he's known to be a massive prick, Amaterasu didn't exactly welcome his visit, and instead of a hug, she received her brother with a drawn sword, ready to kill him. You thought your family was messed up. Think again. Susanoo was mad, offended by his sister's hostile greeting, and said, "Yo, I came here with pure intentions. I just came to say bye, but if this is how you want to play it..."
It's time to do.
And so he challenged Amaterasu to a divine version of rock, paper, and scissors, aka let's casually create life to see who's better at casually creating life. So Susanoo ate Amaterasu's pearls, not a metaphor for incest, actually her pearls, and he spat out 5 gods. And then Amaterasu ate Susanoo's sword, not a metaphor, she actually ate a sword, and she spat out 3 goddesses. Then Susanoo proudly looked at his 5 gods versus her 3 goddesses and said,
"Which is the bigger number, 5 or 1?
And Amaterasu said, first of all, I did 3, not 1. You can't just randomly quote Game of Thrones whenever you want to. And second of all, everybody knows goddesses are worth more than gods. Females are better than men, so I win. But her feminine confidence severely triggered Susanoo's sense of patriarchy, so he threw a tantrum and pooped on the floor in front of his sister, and then randomly skinned one of her horses alive and threw it at one of Amaterasu's weavers, who got so scared at the incoming skinned horse that she poked herself in the vagina with a needle and died. Yeah, all of that really happened. This is beyond my creativity to make this up. Unsurprisingly, Amaterasu was pissed, and now she wanted to exile Susanoo, her brother, too. But Susanoo decided that he didn't want to go stay with his mom in the underworld, and he exiled himself to our Earth instead. And here, amongst the hegemony of man that oppressed Susanoo, he discovered a whole new realm. So Susanoo was like,
What's up, man?
We got a man up on this one.
Great workout, man.
Not Margaret. Let's shake on this.
this was where Susanoo was supposed to be. Here he was literally Superman amongst nobodies and had no stupid sister to boss him around. And so Susanoo actually did fancy himself a hero and started helping people. For one of his heroics, Susanoo chose to slay the giant serpent monster Orochi that was threatening innocent people and demanding young women as sacrifices. So Susanoo used his godly powers to blackmail an innocent family into marrying their only surviving daughter to him instead of the monster in return for him defeating the monster. Because
that's what heroes do.
Then our brave hero Susanoo bravely fought against the 8-headed snake monster Now, who am I kidding? That's way too noble. Susanoo got the monster drunk with a trick and then cut all of his heads off while the monster was sleeping.
Because that's what heroes do.
Then, in Orochi's dead body, Susanoo found the legendary sword Kusanagi, which she gifted to his sister to buy his way back into heaven and return to his position as the god of the sea. And to all Naruto fans, yes, Orochi, Orochimaru, Susanoo, Amaterasu, Kusanagi, yeah, it's all inspired by this tale. But of course, Amaterasu didn't just sit around idly while Susanoo was playing hero. Nah, Amaterasu, after her brother Tsukuyomi caused the death of her friend, one goddess, one tray, and her other brother Susanoo caused the death of one of her servants, Amaterasu had enough. She was done with the realm of the gods, and she stopped being the sun and went into exile, hiding in a cave. This was a problem because no sun means eternal darkness, because Tsukuyomi, the moon, is now in the sky alone forever, eternally, aka... So now the supporting cast of Japanese gods wanted to get Amaterasu out of her cave and back to doing the sun shiny sparkly thing, and figured that having a beautiful goddess dance outside her cave and slowly undress herself as a stripper, that should do the trick. I'm again not kidding, they hired the world's first stripper. The goddess of fun and partying agreed to do this new job, and so she got naked and danced outside Amaterasu's exile cave for the entertainment and excitement, serious excitement, of 8 million male gods. And all that cheering got Amaterasu's attention, so she poked her head out the cave to see what's going on, and they pulled her out forcibly and quickly sealed the cave and made her be the sun again. And that's how. Remember when Izanami insta-birthed a bunch of demons, but Izanagi sealed the underworld with a boulder just in time? Yeah, 2 demons actually managed to slip through the cracks. 2 demons that became known as the gods of lightning and wind, Raijin and Fujin. Born out of hatred, both fully embodied the hatred and fury of their mother Izanami, and brought nothing but death to the world, causing thunderstorms by constantly fighting each other in the skies. Their great powers devastated the world below, and humanity suffered for ages, until in one of their battles Fujin cut Raijin's arm off, meaning Raijin could no longer wield his lightning powers. So in order to get revenge on his brother, Raijin ran crying to Sister Amaterasu to make his boo-boo go away. Amaterasu, though, was a patron of humanity, so she only agreed to heal Raijin if him and his brother stopped fighting. And so ever since, Raijin and Fujin pulled a reverse Rihanna, and the bad boys gone good now served humanity, most famously during the Mongol invasion when Japan was threatened to be conquered by, obviously, the Mongols, but sudden storms and lightning sank the Mongol fleet and saved Japan. And to this day, Raijin and Fujin have massive influence in anime and pop culture, Mortal Kombat, Pokemon, and also Naruto. Again, Naruto and Sasuke are literally Fujin and Raijin. One is wind, one is lightning, the loss of an arm, the rivalry turned friendship, combining their powers to save all against evil. I mean, once you see it, you can't really unsee it.